Yeah, I'm sorry about that. US cuts another 10,000 health jobs. That's another win right there for Doge. We're missing just one more zero. Fluid logic.
Yeah.
Um, they
Yeah.
have an app.
Yep. Yep. There you go.
Intelligent hydrant.
Yeah. So the app, there's it's pretty cool. Yeah, the app helps you set up a hydration plan. So like you don't, when you're doing these high intense situations, you can't just drink a bunch of water and then like be like a camel and store it and just use it. You'll either pee it out so what the app does, it helps you plan your hydration needs for your ride. And we use a strategy called microdosing where you take small sips continuously. It allows you to maximize the efficiency of your water while reducing your dehydration. So it's pretty cool. So we have to kind of carry this message. The app's responsibility is to carry this message because otherwise it's a pack with a button that dispenses water. But the app is really what gives it its magic of like can you actually perform better with a better hydration strategy.
Dude, congratulations, yeah. Fluid logic for Steve Black. Flexi, we need to get that thing on the offers channel.
Yeah.
Uh, any other exciting opportunities that you have?
I
Uh,
do. Out of the blue, one came up that I'm made it to a next round, and then there will be a case study after that. I don't have a case study in hand yet, but if all goes well next week, I'll have a case study the following week. Yeah, it just kind of came up out of the blue. Another startup, and I feel like startups are my happy space, and I'm actually pretty happy here. But this new one that came up is really even pretty interesting. So keep it on
hmm,
the down low until I learn a little more. But it's yeah, I don't know. When it rains, it pours, I guess.
telling you guys, just gotta keep your head in the game. Okay, gotta keep your head in the game. I'll have a testimonial call with, dude, we've been backing up offers. Izzy, Hannah. I mean, this is our now officially last coaching call for uh last coaching call of the quarter. We are getting ready to start Q2. I'm pretty happy with like what it is that we've done. Uh, let me see here. Copy link. I'm just gonna post this guy up here on the chat. That was a big win. Jessica also sent me this message on LinkedIn where she said she got the PDF, but like yeah, she's like, I sent out a couple of messages and already booked a call for like Monday. So um unless you guys are nuts, I was like, it's freaking hilarious. People are like, really? And I'm like, yeah, dude, just send out, just send, like, they're asking you right now, like, hey, we're hiring for 2 more PMs. Go ahead and reach out to me. You know, if you're sending out 30 messages a day, it's like, there's no reason why you're not getting interviews, right? And then I'll audit people and they're like, oh, yeah, like, I'm not like, oh, like what, you're not doing it? They're like, what else do I got to do? It's like, yeah, send out the direct LinkedIn message. I mean, the guy's already asking you. This is uh I just put in this one in here. There is no reason why you guys all shouldn't be hitting, like if a CEO is posting for it, there's no reason why anybody shouldn't be hitting it up, right? So CEO of Puzzle, great name by the way. No, I'm not gonna troll, dude. Money man might get a job there and be like, yeah, I saw that fucking asshole on YouTube. I've gotten messages like that too. It's like, dude, you're not even trying. Okay. It's like, hey, I got I've got this is a phenomenal podcast name too. Hey, I'm a big fan of the Turpentine Finance podcast, right? Go out there and butter them up Kel, you're in the Bay Area, no reason why you can't hit that, but I mean, let's see here. The AI tax assistant, AI powered accounting software. Whoa, that sounds interesting. We took the best of QuickBooks, OpenAI, Stripe,
Mhm.
and rebuilt the general ledger from the ground up. Okay, so he's got a podcast just like myself. It's so funny how they put like, don't ever do this unless you guys get funding. It's like, oh man, yeah, I wouldn't like, no, it's like continuing education at Harvard Business School online is not Harvard. Man, I'm like trolling this guy. Okay. This is where you got your bachelor, man. Be proud of that UC San Diego. Try and dub that thing all the way in the bottom. Um, anyways, okay, so we got we got so like I said, Mondays for applications, Wednesdays for mock interviews, and then for um uh Thursdays is for case studies. The only person that messaged me a case study was Kel. So let me see here. Okay, so I got a product sense example of product sense question. Okay, I got an example of product sense question. Give me a second here. Let me go ahead and pull this one up. All right, let's do this. Let's tackle this thing down. Uh, actually, while I'm like chomping this thing through, can everybody go ahead and type up how many applications and how many interviews they've done this week so far? So I just have a sense. Just pop that thing into the chat. Okay, one of the very reasons Google consistently brings innovative, world-changing products to the market is because of collaborative work we do in product. As a product manager, you'll work closely with our engineers to guide products from conception to launch. You'll bring technology, business by designing services our customers love, while working with teams across Google, like da 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 da. Okay, so phone call with recruiter, preliminary virtual interview. That hasn't changed. Preparation interview. Okay. The product management interview will largely consist of hypothetical questions and at times a few. So which one do you want me to go ahead and get down? Leading end-to-end roadmaps, preliminary assessment. Okay, you should have 45 minutes focused on. Okay, so let me see here. You should expect 3 virtual interviews, 6 components of product insights. How would you improve restaurant search? If you were to build the next great feature for Google search, what would it be? Um, how would you improve Google Maps? How would you design alarm clock for a person with a visual impairment? Mm, ba, 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 ba. Okay, analytical. Which part of this in the short time that we have today, how would you like me to get through this thing with you?
So I posted it in the chat, but it's the one where it says, should Google offer a StubHub competitor that is sell sports, concert, and theater tickets. And it's under number 2, strategic insights.
Hmm, a StubHub competitor, right?
Yep.
Okay, Divya is good.
And I heard the key word should. So that so you have to try. It seems like one of the things might be, is it a good idea or not to do it?
Okay. Yep, that is the operative word. Should.
This seems more like a product strategy question, though, not a design question.
It's
Not that you
a
can't answer it, but yeah.
it's a strategic insights question, not a
Yeah,
design
exactly.
question.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, does anybody want to take a stab at this, or you guys just want me to see how it is that I would, how it is that I would do it, and then also like, what I've seen actually work.
Forgive me. I just joined. What are we taking a stab at?
Uh, well, Marine, we are taking a stab at
Right.
this Google product strategy question here, which is should Google offer a StubHub competitor that is to sell sports, concert, and theater tickets?
Okay.
Anybody want to go ahead and take a stab at this guy?
Applications, what? Oh, okay. Should they offer a StubHub? Is no one else taking a shot? If no one else is saying anything, I'll make shit up and say something. Sure.
Yeah, why don't you go out there and take the first jab at it?
And that's it. That's all it is to the question. Should Google make a StubHub?
That is at an actual Google interview, they'll be, and you're exactly right. That is it. There is no right or wrong answer while they say that shit with a smug smirk.
Right.
I put the
They're
question
all
in the
nice and
chat.
comfortable in their Google
You put the
Suite.
question in the chat. Okay, let me take a
Yeah.
look before I say some dumb shit.
No. There's no right or wrong answer here. Okay.
Oh, I'm new. So like all I see is your last, like, okay, thank you. All I see is like applications is 30 round one. You don't see anything if you join late. My bad. I'd want to look at, is that market even attractive? Whether or not Google has the capabilities, I assume they would, given their data intensive everything. But is the market attractive? Who are the players? Is it growing or contracting? What are the key risks? Like how, and kind of like whittle that down into like what event would you choose? I think actually an easy event actually would be choosing something working up to FIFA coming next year, because that's the next biggest thing that's happening in the United States. So I'd look at market attractiveness, like what's the size? Is it attractive? Is it growing or contracting? Typical players in that space, what are people looking for? And then what's happening with recent major events. So like what happened with the Super Bowl, what happened with the NBA finals last year. And then I'd break that out into some kind of phased approach to consider FIFA next year, which gives a lot of opportunities because FIFA's going like everywhere, Mexico City, Philadelphia, Baltimore. I think there's a lot of opportunity to figure out, but there's not enough information just yet to say yes or no.
Anybody else wants to take a shot at this? Started with
Yeah, if you want, I could try. I could try.
no, come on.
Okay, so this is like a strategy question, right? So what I'm going to do is try to look at Google strengths and then just give you like a state of the union of like ticketing from what I understand, right? So Google's strengths are, I mean, their mission is to organize the world's information, right? So their strengths are in search and advertising, and then they have a lot of other businesses around, right? Like cloud power backends. They have like Google Fiber, they own Android. So they have a ton of businesses already, right? And a ton of, and obviously YouTube. The way ticketing works today is it is kind of dominated by like Ticketmaster, StubHub, there's like AXS, just a few companies. And the way these companies work is that they kind of have a contract with these individual artists or leagues or even venues, I think, for different events. And they kind of have that market kind of cornered, right? So if Google wants to go out there and build this, right, they would have to like have that kind of sales force or that manpower to go ahead and make these contracts with all these people, right? And they don't really have that expertise in that line of business, right? And to be honest, why would anyone move away from Ticketmaster, StubHub to Google, other than Google just giving them a ton of money, which again isn't profitable for Google, right? So I would say Google should not get into the ticketing business. What they can do is like referrals, right? Like if you search for a ticket, give me the best option between these different options that can, just like they do for flights, right? They can build a Google ticketing, which is like Google Flights. Give me the best options with with some sort of pricing, track the price history, and give me some options there, right? I think that is what Google should focus on, and that's their strength. They own that top of the funnel, and then the bottom of the funnel. I mean, they make everyone fight for the traffic, right? They can do the same thing here. They don't need to get into the actual ticketing business. So that's how I would. That's my recommendation for Google here.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Okay, so
Take a stab.
oh, Vanessa, yeah, please.
1 second. Okay. So the question is, should Google offer a stab of competitors that is sell sport, concert, and theater tickets? Okay. Before I answer the questions, I would like to add some clarifying questions. First and mainly is is Google currently looking to expand into that space? And if they are they current, why now? And another thing is thinking back to Google's mission, which is to help organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. How would them entering the StubHub, like offer a StubHub competitor, how would that help expand on Google's core mission, which is to make information more accessible? So based on that, I'm going to be answering the question in the following ways. Talk about Google's potential goals and mission, some unmet needs that they're potentially going to be solving for, who the current competitor in the space in this ecosystem is, some customer segmentation, and also how does this them going into the space, how does that integrate into Google's current ecosystem? Does that sound good to you? Okay, so to start off with Google's goal and mission, as I said previously, Google's mission is to organize the world's information to make it more universal, accessible, and useful. How does StubHub make that possible? If you think about StubHub, the competitors, they sell sports, concert, and tickets. And if you're thinking about it from that perspective, that's a form of entertainment. Primarily throughout history, you've seen a lot of things being told through stories, and the space, theater tickets, that's classic storytelling, concert and sports, those are areas that helps bring people together in different ways. Music is another form of sharing, I guess, information in a way. So based on that, getting into that competitor space, offering that as a product, I could see a reason why Google might want to expand in that space. But before I dig deeper, I want to know, does Google have any key analysis, like key insight data that they can share with me to help elaborate, so I have some more information for the question and we can just do like a role play or something on that? Okay. If not, I will be making some key assumptions. For example, in order for Google to want to go offer StubHub competitors, I'm going to make some key assumption that they're trying to solve for some potential pain points. But before I talk about the pain points, I want to talk about the potential customers that Google might be trying to serve. In this instance, thinking about Google and their current ecosystem, for relating to StubHub current customers, there are people that love entertainment. They love sports, concert ticket. They just like to be able to have access to those things and want more variety. Another option would be first time. Trying to think of a good way to word it. So sell sport, concert, and theater tickets. Customer segmentations. Oh, okay. If I think of it as a bilateral marketplace, we have the people that are looking to buy the ticket and the people that are selling it. How can Google serve both markets, both customers? In this instance, I would like to dip deeper into the space of the people buying the ticket. As a ticket buyer, whether for sports or concert or theater tickets, I will want to potentially want to use StubHub to go see my favorite basketball team play for the NBA playoff, or as a concert goer, I want to be able to have the best price possible so that I have more option and variety when my best favorite musician comes into town or something like that. And going based on those unmet needs, and the customer segmentation, I will now dig further and talk about some potential solution, and also take a look at the competitors in the space. Outside of StubHub, a big one that comes to mind is Ticketmaster. I don't know a lot about Ticketmaster, but I do know that they offer tickets for in the same space for sports, concert, and tickets. And I'm blanking now, but yeah, I don't know what solution to offer potentially, but I can continue. Just for a moment.
Got it. Okay, so honestly, no right or wrong answer. I think the things that people, okay, so if you're completely blanking out on this answer right here, if you're getting a question like this, your main objective is to go out there and try to grab a job at Google, right? Or to go out there and actually make an impression. So you guys heard a few different answers, and I could tell you that even having been like a tech recruiter before in California, everybody's question here was pretty much on par with the type of answers that I would have heard being a recruiter 10 years ago. Gosh, I'm old. Freaking A. Yeah, like 10 years ago. And you would hear pretty much the same types of responses. I'm talking about across the board. The overall types of questions that you guys initially launched out, kind of your thought process, tonality. I think we can all just, there's a safe space. Obviously, like a little bit of the rambling would be completely on par and consistent, even with like the local Stanford MBA grads. So, if anything, like if you guys didn't feel like you guys did a good job on it, it's sounded the same way 10 years ago in a conference room. Having said that, though, what can we go ahead and do about it? Well, things that you want to go ahead and do is this is why doing 2 practice interviews, I always say like 30 LinkedIn outreach messages like a day minimum. Try to get up to like 100. I don't think it's like hard. We gave out the PDF with like all the message templates. ChatGPT is pretty much doing the job for you guys already. So like 30, 2 mock interviews, and then 2 case study interviews, right? This has a lot to gauge with just so many people want to be like a product manager, but they're not actually. There's very few fans of actual product management. Like if you're in the restaurant game in New York, you're always looking at what other restaurants are like doing, and you generally go to other restaurants, right? A lot of product managers, unfortunately, from like a recruiting standpoint, they say they're like a product manager by trade only. Outside of work, they don't give a fuck about this business. And that's kind of unfortunate. Like finance and like crypto bros, well, at least that I know in New York, like they're always talking about like crypto. They're like they're in the life. This is not just like a job. Like a product manager at like Peloton does not give a fuck about bikes outside of work, you know. Like if you're in crypto, you're in crypto. It's just kind of like, oh, we all have that one friend that's like in CrossFit. They about that life. So this is where like when Google
CrossFit
or
looks
like
dope.
Meta, any one of the big companies when they're hiring for like product managers, they want to see like, are you guys like actually legitimate fans of just the space of product management? And like, are you guys actually just studying this game as like the game? It's kind of hard for you to be like where I was born and raised at in LA. Like everybody in New York knows somebody that works in like finance. In LA, everybody knows somebody that pretty much works on entertainment. Not so much the acting side, but the management side, right? For those people, they're in it. Um, like every fashion girl in New York that came out from like Fit, the Fashion Institute of like Technology, or Parsons, they're in that space, they're in that life. So judging by like how you react to it, so that's also why I think I want to add another thing, which is like look up what's going on, kind of like the news in the world of tech. Just seeing what's going on, right? Every co-working, and this is just not like knowledge you should have, but it's just prior knowledge that I have, which gives me kind of like a slightly unfair advantage over you guys. Is my answer to that question is it really depends what Google is trying to accomplish. Bro, if I was to go ahead and go into that interview right now, I've worked in a lot of co-working spaces, just kind of being like a digital nomad. And I'll tell you this, most co-working spaces has a ticket reseller startup. And I've seen them all go out of business. Even the most promising one, that shit went out of business. The margins on that thing is freaking slim. It is very, 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 very slim. So this might be knowledge that you guys have. This might be knowledge that you guys don't have, right? But the first thing that I would take a look at, and I'd walk them through my process first, is our objective here growing the Google's influence, or is it profit? If it's strictly from a profit standpoint, I would say no. And if you did not know, you could also say the first thing that I would take a look at is StubHub itself actually making money. If you did if you did some research on StubHub, they were they've been reporting losses. Even in years where they had a revenue jump, when you take a look at the actual P&L and you factor in all the marketing costs and stuff, it's still reporting at a loss. Why? Because if I want to go to a Taylor Swift concert, you ain't gonna outsell Taylor Swift on StubHub against Taylor Swift. And Taylor Swift would love for nothing than to get that thing purely dripped into her personal Chase checking account versus versus like cutting it, like actually giving out a percentage, right? This is actually where it's so difficult, is because the person that you're selling for is also the person you're competing against. So what are you left to eat with? That's just like me personally, my friends are degenerates. We go to raves and shows. Yeah, like you'll go out there and scalp on like StubHub, right? But that's just like I've seen so many kids, like you go to like a EDC, or like you'll go to like a Dodgers game or whatever, and they'll just be standing out there and be like, "Yay, you guys need like a last minute ticket." The margins on that is just not there. So if you didn't know that, I would actually say, well, if it's actually based upon, there's only two objectives here. It's either profit or an agenda where it allows you to grow a profit margin on another business line. So if you're talking about whether or not we can make this business line profitable, the first thing I would go ahead and do is I would take a look at the top 10 competitors. I would take a look at the top 10 competitors in this space, and I would see whether or not they are profitable. And whether or not our objectives is to be profitable in the short term or to be profitable in the long term. A great example of that is I also love streaming. Apple reports like a $1 billion loss on its streaming service against Netflix almost every year. But yet, if you take a look at Apple content, they're just dumping more money on there. They're dumping more money on there. If you're taking a look at like, I don't know, a Formula One movie. I don't know if you guys saw this trailer. It's freaking hot fire right here. This is like freaking theatrical. Like Brad Pitt looks badass as shit. They're just dumping more and more and more cash. Like, you're burning $1 billion. It's not like they're unaware of that. I also saw like a few like MacBooks and iPhones in the trailers too. So it acts as like a commercial arm for them, right? But if the goal is like we want to create this business line because we want to make that business line isolated by itself as profitable. The Samsung has an electronics division where they sell iPhone, where they sell mobile phones, right? That division is like what they call the crown jewel of the Samsung empire here in the motherland, is profitable. Semiconductor chips, it's profitable. But they'll do other things that's not as profitable, but it will grow another business line for them. So you should ask, okay, well, if it's looking for profit, I have some, do you have some prior knowledge in the space or you don't? Like me, as just a guy that's like naturally curious about other business lines, I had that like prior knowledge. Well, what if I don't, Rich? Well, the question that you want to go ahead and ask is the following. If it's about profit and short-term profit, I would take a look. I'd research, I'd make a list of the top 10 competitors right now, and I would see if they are profitable. And I'd also take a look at how long they've been in business. If StubHub, that's been in this space for a decade, has not been able to turn a profit, and at the Product Gym office in New York, where we're located conveniently on 39th and Broadway, also is right on top of freaking the StubHub. They have an actual StubHub in-person like kiosk and counter where you can buy tickets, and their employees are looking miserable as shit. But that's like prior knowledge that I have that I'll throw in there, right? I would say if they couldn't do it in 10 years, I don't know, like what is it that we're waiting for? And StubHub doesn't have anything else other than StubHub. I mean, they're not selling protein powder in there. So I would say if it's about short-term profit, no. Secondly, if it's about that can help us grow an additional business line, well, let's go ahead and actually talk about that. Where are most of the artists, where are they getting a lot of their user engagement shy of Instagram and shy of Apple Music and shy of, let's just say Spotify, right? YouTube. There is no other platform that's going to go ahead and let you watch a concert, like a 2 hour, like a 2 hour thing about EDC or a 3 hour thing about EDC. You're not putting that thing on any other platform other than YouTube. You're not watching that shit on Vimeo, right? Or TubeBuddy. You're watching that thing on you're watching that guy on YouTube, right? So, and who owns YouTube? Google. So if you're talking about like, oh yeah, you're a fan of Blackpink, you can go out there, or like you're a fan of Diplo and you want to go out there and just buy that freaking ticket straight up, like we're offering an additional convenience. So like if we're going to go ahead and do that, there's no right or wrong answer, right? I mean, that's something I think about doing. Other thing is this. I'd pipe into ChatGPT. Should Google offer a StubHub competitor? And it would actually come up with other things that I haven't even thought of yet. But I would totally be thinking about doing, I mean, we're not doing in-person interviews anymore. So I would totally be having, if you guys don't have, okay, practice, like if you guys don't have ChatGPT pulled up on an interview right now, you're putting yourself at a major disadvantage. And people are like, is that cheating? 100%. News flash. People cheat to win. I don't know if you guys noticed what Chinese businesses are doing. Half of the BYD staff is from Tesla. We'll just outpay your own people to come work for us. Tell us exactly what's in the ingredients, secret ingredients are in the pot. And we want you guys to do that shit for us. I mean, but they operate a little bit differently because they get a blank check from Beijing, right? We want you guys to fuck Elon Musk up. That little gigafactory that he's building in Shanghai, we want that shit hacked, ready for grabs. If they
I
order
use
pizza for the whole team
ChatGPT.
on Thursday, we want to know how many boxes are coming. They can do that. You know, Xiaomi was the same thing. That Xiaomi phone, Huawei, half their executives.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of hard to say no when they offer you like how much you make in a year, 500,000. We want to offer you 1.5 million. We want to send your kids to the best international school. We want to give you a driver because you deserve it. You ain't ever gonna get yelled at by Steve
Oh,
Jobs.
I didn't know that's what was
dude.
going on with them. I liked them for a little bit. Oh.
Exactly. You know, it's kind of, you know, that's why when they talk about human rights, like somebody like Matt Damon's like, I didn't see any of that when I was there. So I don't know because I didn't see it, you know. But things that you can go out there and actually take a look at is this regulatory and legal issues, right? Ticket resale industry is heavily regulated in many regions, and Google might face scrutiny over competition, dominance concerns, given Google's existing power in search and advertising. Regulators might see this as a move for unfair market expansion. Competition with existing partners. Google has partnerships with Ticketmaster and other event platforms. Launching StubHub competitor might strain those relationships. They don't really give a shit. Scalability and fraud risk. Running a ticket marketplace requires handling disputes, fake tickets, and customer complaints, which is outside of Google's core experience. 100% ChatGPT, this bad boy right here. It's not that difficult. It's practically doing half the job for you. These are other things that I will be totally honest and transparent in my confession to you today. I haven't even thought of yet. So with that said, something else that I've also noticed is let's talk about some of the things that you guys should not do. I noticed that a lot of people said it's Google's mission to blah, blah, blah. Don't say that in an interview because that's just like showing up to work at the FBI headquarters the first day and saying, like, what do you think we do here at the FBI to ensure that justice is served in every community? And Cash Patel is going to tell you to shut the fuck up. Cash Patel is basically going to say, do you love our country? Yeah. Do you love our president? Of course. This is a list of everybody that's, you know, fucked over the greatest of all time. Want you to launch an investigation on every one of these motherfuckers. That's your job. You know, like, that is the mission of the FBI. Like, you know, I'll tell you exactly, like, you know, in a room full of MBA grads. I was a tech recruiter in California, right? So we recruited for all the majors, and they had a room full like Stanford MBAs. Like these are like the cream of the crop kids, like Stanford, like all the Ivy Leaguers there. And they had some street smart kids. They actually appreciate the street smart kids way more. And then they're like, "What do you think Google's mission here is?" And everybody recited it like it was like law school or some shit. And there's this one like Chinese kid that just looked up in the ceiling and they're like, what do you think Google's mission is? Profit, total world domination. And if I can be honest, he ended up getting the job, by the way, the internship, by the way. They're like, what else do you think Google's mission is? Like being too big to fuck with. TBTFW. They're like, finally.
And the
They're like,
core
Rich, I'm
product of
telling you, the
Google
Chinese.
is
I was
its
like,
stock,
and there's
right?
1.4 billion of us. Yeah. Telling you. CEO of TikTok, that guy started off as a Meta intern too. He's never know. Yeah, so like the hilarious thing is like, yeah, it's like it's profit. Like they're laughing this whole time. They're like, if you walk down that freaking office right now and ask 10 Googlers what's the mission of Google, and you recited what was on the actual Google official website, that mission statement, they freaking laugh. They don't remember it. Never dropped the mission statement. Somebody just recently interviewed with me and they're like, well, I think Product Jim's mission is. I was like, that shit is still up on the website. I was like, Cody and I cranked that shit out. I mean, because like we needed a template, right? And it was like, put mission statement here. We just found some shit and like flipped it. I was like, the mission of Product Gym is to make so much money it feels illegal. All right. That's what we do here. To give you guys an unfair advantage. So we want to pump out so many interviews and offers. The whole competition calls us like hell. Like, hey, I've been watching you guys wonder what the fuck are you guys doing here? Because it looks like I've been fucking up. That is our mission, to make a shit ton of money. People ask me all the time, Rich, why don't you become? Because I don't give a fuck about product management. You think I like this shit? Get the fuck out of here. You think fucking Jira makes me hard? It gets me fucking excited. Ooh, roadmaps, wireframes. Oh, Pendo has a new certification? No, I'm in here for pure US dollars profit. All right. That's it. Other than that, I enjoy the competition of like just fucking killing my competitors. You know? Yeah, I enjoy trolling people on TikTok. It's like, yeah, you got to customize your resume for every single, and then you'll see my face. You do that shit, you'll have a fucking product manager job in 2029. This is what you need to do, you know? That's the thing. Keep it fun, keep it lively, keep it exciting. The main things that they're going to have about this question is how nervous are you when you initially get it? And most people start shaking. They start shaking like you're getting pulled for a random security check at an airport. Do not do that. Do not do that. So this is why you guys got to go out there and practice. Expect these questions. A lot of people are like, well, I'm not trying to get a product manager job at Google, right? And I was like, here's the bad news. A lot of the startups, they feel like they're going to be the next Google or Uber. They will recycle these questions. So you gotta like honestly like don't think you're not gonna freaking get it. A lot of the heads and or chief product officers at startups, they came from big tech. So they're gonna recycle these questions too. So like expect it, right? Like champion winning athletes, they manifest where the fucking ball is. And anybody that's played any sport knows that ball can be anywhere, you know? There's no range where that like manifest you getting that question and manifest actually fucking owning that question. When they ask, that's the first thing you don't want to do. Like that's why you want to go out there and do like champs. The success metrics in this freaking racket has been so simple. You send out 30 direct LinkedIn messages a day to these people. Look at them. Most of them are sending what? I'm interested. Ooh. If that's how you're going to market yourself, I sure as fuck don't want you working for me. I'm interested. What are you going to do if you got a job at Tinder? Please download our app. Is that your go-to marketing play? Show me something innovative, right? We have the list of messages to send out. Jessica, you started firing off just a few messages and you already booked yourself for Monday. Now you just got to go out there and fire like a few more, right? 30 30 outreach messages, follow up. Okay, I'm going to create like a list of follow-up message templates and updated one. And then the other thing is just 2 mock interviews a day of your full-time job hunting, and then 2 case studies a week, and that's it, you know? And we've been able to go out there and flip. What? Let me go out there and exit that. We've been able to go out there and flip multiple offers after 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 multiple offers. That's it. That's all there is to it. People ask me all the time, they're like, Rich, like, how do I launch a career coaching business? So there's no secret sauce to this shit. You do 2 Instagram posts a day. One YouTube video a week. Okay. Get on fucking Instagram stories 5 times minimum. And just fucking start a TikTok fucking account. And they're like, what else? Fucking just do that for just 45 days straight. You know? There's this guy I love. He's so hilarious. It's called the jailhouse workout. He's like, just do 500 push-ups a day. Make a list of songs that's gonna get you hot. I'm gonna do my first 20 push-ups. He's like, I started off with the Michael Creed's Creed 2 workout. You know, where he's like, no, 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 no. He's like, that'll get me going. And then the next 15 push-ups, he's like, in jail, you eat whatever it is that they give you. During you end up getting enough protein, you just do push-ups all day and you'll look like Michael B. Jordan, right? He's like, just do that for 45 days. I guarantee you you'll get the body that you want. All about consistency. 30 a day. If you can't bring yourself to mentally do it, hit up a few of your friends. That's it. That's it. 32, 2. That's it. That is it. You know, no secret sauce to this game, folks.
Great.
Anyways, am I
Rich,
saying it right?
just
Viet, your question?
yeah,
Yeah, please.
just wondering. So even if I'm starting out again with a job hunt, I should
Uh-huh.
still follow the same process. Hit 30 people on LinkedIn, keep on following them up, and just practice for mock interviews, uh, and all those things.
Yeah. Even if you're like, welcome back. I never gotten a chance to meet you today, but nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you as well. So just getting back into the game. So yeah, looking for one.
Yeah. So like honestly speaking, that's pretty much it. Like 30 a day. If you're full-time job hunting, you guys should do like 100. I've been piping up all the YouTube videos, all this stuff on YouTube. Your competition can't even bring themselves to go out there and do this. It's like I'm like it's like a workout program. That's what we call a product gym, right? I mean, so just 30 to 2. I mean, CrossFit built a 9-figure business just by doing pull-ups, deadlifts, and squats. So most motherfuckers can't even do that. You know, like, but we all have a friend here that does CrossFit, right? All they do is just rave about it. Like they just discover fire. That's all there is. 30 to 2. Keep it consistent, keep it accountable. And then the other thing is make sure that you're following up with all the companies that you're reaching out to every single day. That's it. And then you go out there and get multiple offers. Standard one offer has been about 150 to 170. Second offer has been about like 175 to 190. And then third offer is basically what you call it. Third offer is 200 250K and above. You know, that's why like we're always like multiple offers. Okay. All the alumni basically follow the same blueprint. Sean, same thing. How I landed a product manager job at Pfizer, 45 days, 12 interviews a week, 3 product manager offers. He was averaging about like 1 interview every other week, and he just went heads down and he did this shit. For blah 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 blah. Okay, how to expedite offers, secured multiple offers within 90 days. Same thing, 32-2. Okay. That's the bare minimum. If you can't, like some people here are working full time. If you guys can, go out there and hit at least 100 of them. We've been running this call 4 days a week. Pretty much like since the beginning of the year. Okay, how I landed a product manager job in the crypto space. This one smiling mother lover right here. Same shit. It's no secret sauce to this space, man. Sure. You just go out there and crypto's freaking all you guys are doing is working remote. You guys been working global remote since pre-pandemic 2018. So like in terms of like people are like, oh, what about like no, crypto is thanks to the best president ever. Crypto is raging right now. So no reason why and you don't actually need like crypto experience to go out there and get a product manager job in crypto. Dennis, same thing. whatchamacallit, $300,000 big tech product manager job. He scored Venmo, 300K. Same thing. I've been saying this shit for like weeks. 25 product manager interviews a week. I lived in New York before I moved to Korea, and I was like, any takers, you guys can come and apply at my house. And that guy was brave enough. He was the only guy that said yes. And I was just like freaking cracking the whip on that kid every single day. He knew what it was like to be growing up like a Chinese kid for like about 30 days, 25 product manager interviews a week. The thing is like, don't freaking like overanalyze the job, just hit it. This dude right here did everything I told him to do. 3 product manager offers, 10,000 jobs. He applied to 10. So I was like, that's actually not even that bad. If you think about it, like if you hit 30 jobs in 10 hours, you'll have 300 jobs. Just do the math. Like in a month, you can hit 10,000 applications. I mean, why would you let 10,000 hit and send 10,000 times stop you from a 200K, 300K job, right? So what we need to do now, yeah, same thing with the volume approach. New mom wanted work-life balance. She got it. You know how you get a job work-life balance? By doing volume. You want to know how I crush my competition? By doing volume. Some guy actually sent me this video. He sent me a message. He was like, can you stop dropping so many YouTube videos? Like, go fuck yourself. Step your game up. I'm gonna drown you. I'm gonna freaking drown you. This is what gets our call volume up, dude. They're doing like, some other company will go out there, I won't name names, they're doing like 1 case study video like a week. Yeah, dude. You know what I will go ahead and do with that mother lover? I'll just go out there and drop 1 case study video after another. Tesla case study, Airbnb case study, Google case study, Amazon case study, Netflix case study, Meta case study. They're like, Rich, you want to drop one away? I said, drop it all. Flush those motherfuckers out. Yeah, dude, this is how, like, we're just gonna out-dominate the competition. Day in the life of a product manager. None of you guys showed up to that podcast that I hosted, right? Instead of like having like 1 video a day in the life, I was like, we had 6 product managers on the podcast where it's like, there's 6 days in a life. So I will just always, that's what Chinese people do business. It's volume. Let's just drown them out. Throw bodies at it. Let's see how they can handle it. You know,
put people out there.
What's that?
I said that's the Marine Corps too. Put people out there. Just throw
put people out there, dude. Just throw bodies out there. Freaking. That's all there is to it. 4 product manager offers are like, what's your secret? He's like, just freaking. I applied to like. He is like, I applied. You want to know what was the secret to getting like Amazon? She applied to 250 jobs a day. Amazon offer. 250 jobs a day. So people are like, oh man, step your fucking game up, yo. It's like, come on. Kobe was at the freaking gym at 4 a.m. He didn't have to do that. I mean, shit, I wouldn't be. If I got a contract for the NBA, I tell you straight up, I'm just trying to ride it out until retirement. Once I get my shoe deal, I'm definitely not trying to injure myself, yo. You know, that's all. You know, so like in terms of like, this is what it's going to be like. But the company right now, yeah, that's the thing. That's why you guys want to apply together. Everybody on this call has figured out some kind of hack, right? So like when friggin' I forgot what his name. I think it's like, yeah, Joel. He figured out using Simplified got him like an extra like 14 apps, like an hour. He used Simplified, right? That's how we got this guy into Hulu. Volume. That's it. And you want to know why you want to do volume? So many people are complaining that like, oh, why do I have to do so much volume? Because you don't freaking know if those interviews are going to go through for one. But the reality of the situation is we have actually had more people with H-1Bs and more people that are foreign nationals get the jobs at the best companies because English is a second language, so they have to just naturally do more interviews because they got to process that shit. Like I've had people take the program before. They're like, Rich, like, you know, I want to be a product manager, but like English is my second language. And I was like, well, now is a great time because if you take a look at a lot of those Michelin star chefs that train in Paris, they're just getting fucking yelled at in French, right? It's pretty degrading already doing it in English. But like they a lot of them, they weren't good at school. I mean, why the hell would you go into becoming a chef anyways, right? Most of them are degenerates. But like they're just so exposed to the language. I mean, that's actually how I learned how to speak Korean. I was just so immersed in the community here. But I also grew up with those guys. Like that's how you're actually going to get better at interviewing. So when you're thinking about like, I want you, dude, shit, I want to flex you guys out getting like jobs at like Amazon and Google and fucking Hulu and Venmo and Netflix and all that. We want more of the big logos there. But taking the strategic qualitative approach just does not freaking work because you're not going to be able to replicate that confidence with somebody. I mean, that's why, hence the term CJ, battle hardened, right? It's like winter is here, people. Winter is not coming. It is here. So like my thing is basically this. Like I'm not one of those Asian girls in product management where I can be like a day in the life of a product manager at Spotify. So today I was 20 minutes late for my first meeting, but it was so beautiful. That's why I decided to grab a city bike. And yes, Wednesday is still green tea matcha smoothie day. So I grabbed that, which matched up really well with my shirt and my avocado. But in a live setting like this, I'm fucking Eminem in a live rap battle. If you're talking about like if you're talking about doing this right here, right, I'll fuck you up. It will be equivalent to a fucking Mike Tyson fighting a kid in a wheelchair right now. If doing this live, I will straight murder you. And the thing is, like, people are like, yeah, fuck this, fuck that. And I was like, yeah. But when it comes down to getting offers at big logos, you're talking about product Joe. When you're talking about like doing like fucking 30, 40, $50,000 pay bumps, you're talking about doing a $300,000 salary negotiation. So even some of the people that had a problem with my personality, when they get it, Rich, so it's got an offer from Reddit. How do I, yeah. It's like I always say this, like my asshole cousin that's a lawyer that nobody likes during Chinese New Year. But like when you get into bullshit, yo, so I swear to God, this is what happened. Like, I need you to help me out right now. I was like, yeah. Like when people are talking about like there's this one lady that got a product manager job here, won't name the company, but she wrote a Reddit post. She's like, the process was so uncomfortable. Yeah. And then when it's not there anymore because when she was like fighting for promotion, she was like, it's between me and these two other Indian engineers. And my boss is Indian, but I gotta get this promotion. I was like, funny who you call. So what do I need to do? I was like, are you buy a computer? Yeah. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna do is this. You're gonna take that fucking Reddit post down. Right the fuck now and send me a screenshot. That's priority number one. Number two, you're gonna write a fucking review. Number three, you're gonna schedule a testimonial interview. In that order. In fact, we're gonna do the testimonial interview right now, and then I'll tell you. Because yeah, like in tech recruiting, they train us how to those pay bumps. They're not freaking by magic. They train us how to do it in tech recruiting agency because every dollar you guys get is like extra commission, right? So I'm gonna save some time today to go ahead. I owe a few people a resume review, and I will absolutely go ahead and do it. But like, I think the thing that I really want you guys to go ahead and take away from this call is repetition builds confidence, and confidence is what gets you big offers. Why is it that the third offer has always been a $200,000 offer? Okay. like, like right here, I'm not gonna lie. This was 210K offer. She was 210K offer. So like, Yeah, I think like we have a guest on the line today. That showed up a little bit late. Welcome. But like, why is it that because they hire on confidence? They hire on confidence and they hire on like to be a good product manager, you have to be confident. Because otherwise, they're thinking you're just gonna get trolled by the engineers. Those guys are gonna be like, yeah, can I get this by maybe Friday or next Tuesday? Like, no, they want you to be like, yo, I need the shit right. Like, I need the shit now. Like what? Like, right the fuck now. You know, those engineers ain't trying to work that hard. You know, they gotta think about like people think all about like qualification. No, when they're interviewing you, they are secretly accessing. That's the mistake I made when I first got into tech recruiting was they would say like, oh, we're hiring for Venmo. If you look me up at Venmo, I'm the first Richard at Venmo. I'm at Richard at Venmo, right? I would be taking a look at like, oh yeah, like I got this guy Andrew, he's got crypto background. Prior to that, he has like payments background, right? Like I think he'll be great. And then these guys were sending them in there, they wouldn't be getting the job. And you know who was getting the job? The most confident and the most arrogant people. Because here's the thing, they're secretly accessing, dude, but you know, damn, how's he gonna get along with the CTO, Anthony Cora? That guy's a fucking asshole, dude. I don't even like talking to him. They're gonna be like, Anthony would fucking just throw that guy against the wall and just make him his bitch. You know? That's seriously, they are having those conversations when you guys leave the room. They're like, she's gonna freaking own him. He ain't gonna be owning her. You already know that. He's gonna need therapy just from having 2 Zoom calls with her. So, like, what do you think the missing link is? Confidence. Have you guys ever watched that movie Burnt by Bradley Cooper? Where he's like a has-been Michelin star chef and he's trying to build another Michelin star restaurant in London. That was the first thing he said to this chef, where the guy was like, yo, man, you're like a god to me. Like I studied all your recipes. And like he's like, all right. He's like, you can cook. But if you want to work in my kitchen, you have to know how to defend yourself. Like he's like, otherwise you're gonna get owned. And that was it. That was like they actually told us to watch that movie for the freaking job. Yeah, so like a lot of you guys are wondering like, but you guys can't feel that level of confidence until you guys bag up one offer. Most people are 87% of people in America are underpaid for one reason. They took an offer they did not want because they had no other offers. That's the truth. You know, you had no options, so you had to choose a bad option because it was the only option, right? When you get to your first offer, this is where you're feeling emotionally. And I'm talking about when the economy was good, not like what we're going through right now, where you guys feel like you guys are snowboarding on ice. It's like, oh, can't be worse than my fucking current job right now. Yeah, I guess I'll give it a shot. If I work really hard, I'll get a pay bump. Doesn't work like that. It does not work like that. You guys work really hard and you guys still don't get the pay bump. That's actually what happens at the end of the movie. All right. It's happened. You guys seen the movie more than 5 times. I know some of you guys here are at least 6 years out of college. Never works out that way, right? And then like, and that's when you guys decide to give up because you're like, you're emotionally checked out, you're physically exhausted, you don't want to send another application and it's over. So you guys are choosing to put yourself in a place of poverty. What we do here that's unique is we tell you to keep going. You want to know why? The battle hardened, just like I said to CJ, who is thank you for your service, former United States Marine, or once a Marine, always a Marine. That is, you know, when you guys just got done with finals, the best time for you to take another exam is right there because you guys are all dialed up and locked in. So we tell people, you know, Steve Black said, like, when it rains, it pours. Steve Black has got his first offer. He's about to get a second offer, right? That second offer, you guys see a $25,000, $30,000 pay bump. You guys want to know why? Because number one, you already secured an offer. So you already have a proof of concept. Number one, you already have a proof of concept. So you don't really give a shit whether or not you get this job. In fact, you kind of don't even want to be on the interview anymore, right? So that's exactly what I told Dennis. Keep on interviewing. Okay. He was like, Rich, I'm done. He's like, first offer was 150. He was like, it's over. I'm done. It's like, no, keep on interviewing. Second offer, you want to know what happened with the second offer? Okay. Want to know what happened with the second offer? Second offer was this. Second offer was 200. You want to know what happened with third offer? 220. You want to know what happened with fourth offer? Fourth offer was Robinhood. Was fourth offer was 300K. You want to know what happened with fifth offer? Fifth offer was Venmo, 300K. Okay. And he's like, I'm down. I was like, keep going. He's like, why do you think the suicide rate in Korea is so high? I can't do this. Yes, you can, yo. Can't, shouldn't be a part of your vocabulary. So you got to keep going. 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 Right. So if you guys want the offers, it's like, he's like, yo, but I need a job. Take a job. 2 weeks later, they came back with the other offer. They're like, so should I quit my job? Well, it depends. What's the difference? 100,000? 150,000? You could have integrity, or you can quit this job right now and get double up your income right now. He's like, but like, it's like, it's up to you. It's like, but like, I don't want to burn bridges. What bridges? You needed help this whole time. Did anybody come and extend a hand? Nobody helps out the losing side, fam. Brits were getting bombed a shit ton before the Americans came through. It's like, yeah, show us that you're gonna win, and then we'll come. Society only awards the winners. That's why when you go to down the street and you see a restaurant that's busy AF, and you see another restaurant you can always eat at right now, you always get in line. You don't help out the losers. We're not a culture that helps out the losers, yo. We like winners here. All right. So that's what you guys got to do. So like somebody rallied up like a group huddle. If anybody has well, Abel hopped off, but like this is the thing. Like you guys got to go ahead and just keep on winning, staying accountable. That's why like I left New York, you know. I like being, man, I love Korea. The social pressure here. I see the kids freaking studying here until midnight, and they're like, this is influencer capital, dude. You have cops, doctors, dentists that are freaking like dancing, telling you to come get more plastic surgery from them. I love this shit. It's so commercialized. You know, my parents are like, well, it's going to be toxic for the kids. Like, they need to understand what kind of world they are coming into. It's not a very friendly place right now. If anything, things have only gotten worse since I graduated from school. Okay, got to build them up. 100%. So, like, here's the takeaways, right? Monday, okay, I was very happy to see this, but Monday are for applications. So bring in those companies that you want to do a reach out at. I will craft the messages for you. We've been booking interviews, you know, every Monday. I'm like, come bring in those jobs. Yo, I mean, he's a crypto guy. He wanted to work in crypto, right? He's based in New York, and then it's funny, he actually came to Korea for like Korea Bitcoin week. Yeah, man, manifest it. I want everybody this weekend to tell yourself, what do you want? Okay, how much money do you want to make? Okay, like everybody that wrote down what they want, they got what they want. As a guy, I never thought it was this important, but for a lot of the women that's taken our program, they say, I want to work for a head of product that's a woman. That's a female. Okay, I don't know if I'm being politically correct by even saying that word, female, but like they wrote it down and they got it, versus other people are like, you know, like, oh, you know, or like some of the Asian guys that I work with, they wanted to work for like Asian American founders. That was important to them. Some people wanted streaming. Like, you know, for anybody that thinks like background, just Jackie here. It's funny, this kid actually went to my high school. I was like, he was like, why'd you leave LA? The same reason why you left, man. I wasn't trying to stay in the hood, you know. But like, he doesn't have a streaming background. There's only a handful of companies that can start a streaming company right now. Shy of you having like anybody that's starting a streaming company has enough money to start a soccer team, you know? Like, you know, you got to go in there, man. It's not cheap creating content. Like he manifested it. You know, I'm very proud of him. Ed here landed multiple offers. Like multiple offers. I don't know if you guys saw this one with where's that guy, James? I saw one here where, okay, this one here too. Work-life balance, new mom. Okay. You write it down. You got to go ahead and actually kind of like somewhat manifest it. James also, I forgot where the heck he was, but he wanted head of product. He got a head of product. 4 product manager offers, 4 product manager offers. Disney Plus is crushing it right now. So write down very clearly exactly what it is that you want. Okay. How much money do you want? And write down very clearly how you expect the interview to go ahead and go down. And like these days, like exactly that. That's what all the power athletes, that's what they do. Like this is why it's called Product Gym. This is a freaking sport. All the athletes are like, no, I want bot like Alex Rodriguez for Yankees. He's like, I want a box just for my own family. You know how many people are on the Yankees? It's a lot of people that play on that team, yo. I want this, I want this, and I want this. And when I say I want these things, that's what I want. They gave it to him because that guy had so much eye contact when he went in there, right? You know, Tom Brady, I'm the best decision this organization's ever made. They're like, who the fuck is that guy? So, Mr. Kell, when you go in there, like you want to know the secret of the people that's grabbed Amazon, Hulu, and in there, you got to really like shake yourself up. Like when you walk in there, you have to feel like I'm the best product manager fucking here. Like I am product management. You know, like that's exactly the attitude I came out here with when like I did the live person in-person events. Everybody at that time 8 years ago was a product man. Dude, you guys are like don't even realize I'm not a fucking product manager. I was a fucking recruiter. You know, like, everybody had an MBA that's in this racket. Everybody was a product manager. Everybody was a product manager for like a big tech company. And I was like, I am product management. And I kept telling myself that. Was I nervous as fuck? Hell yeah, dude. Our first freaking talk was right across the street from Goldman Sachs. Those vultures were getting ready to freaking gang initiate me. And I had to like, I remember I walked in there. I was like, fuck. You're no longer in LA anymore, Rich. Walked outside, had a cigarette, came back in. I remember that time we sold it for only $2,000. We got people to pay up on the spot. And I was like that level of emotion of like just fear, imposter syndrome, and just crushing it. That was all done within 2 hours. It felt fucking great, you know. Yeah. So like, if you guys are feeling imposter syndrome, just like I feel it all the time still. Like we're new to cybersecurity. We're very new. I'm murdering those guys right now too. You know, but like we're very new. I didn't know a lot about it. So like keep yourselves accountable. And I think it's also like really important that like in these group huddles, if you guys take a look at all the testimonials, they found that the community here was the most impactful, but every cohort had that one person that just took it upon themselves to lead those sessions because everybody else is like, I'll show up if somebody else sets it up. Like show up to that shit. Freaking get it going. Get it going because now they're all part of like these little group chats and then they're like they feel like they got like friends and stuff. I've seen them like take like trips together. I freaking love that shit. I love it because now it's like that's what people pay for an MBA experience for, right? Is to go out there and actually they pay to go out there and meet people. So you guys are each other's future BFFs. You know, the value isn't coming from me to you, it's coming from you guys to you guys actually. So everybody's figured out some kind of hack to get this job and like just like figure out some kind of trick and like yeah, so like share all that information. There's enough jobs out there. People are taking jobs here every single week. The market and stuff saying like, oh yeah, market's not hiring. People are taking 200K offers here, you know. So, but in order for you guys to get there, you guys got to get the first offer, then the second offer, and then the third offer, you know. So, any other questions before we go up and wrap it up?
Yeah,
And
I have several.
gratitude.
They're kind of nested though,
Yeah, yeah,
since I
like
couldn't make the call on Tuesday.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm not an entry level product manager. I don't get shook up by the case studies because I'm nervous about the case study. Just my personality. I got shook up by like, I come out of delivery lead into product management. A lot of shit is like, well, duh. This doesn't move the value chain. So like, why would we do that?
Oh, it's definitely not like I guess like the adjective that I used was actually not correct. It's not shook up so much as like some people shake up, some people freeze totally, some people stutter, some people kind of some people take time to process. Or like
Yeah, no, I know personally though, my reaction is like, why the fuck does this matter? And I'm working out. I've always been like, why does this matter? You know? So I'm working on that. I'm trying to gauge. I don't know. So like I reached out to one place, they're on Y Combinator. They're asking me to come to some like new grad thing. I'm like, but I'm not a new grad. Why would I come there? Whereas on the other end, some things that are pretty senior and they might be more senior than I am. I have this wide range of like things I've delivered, contexts I've delivered in. And all that really matters to me is autonomy, not in a like, don't tell me what to do way, but in a, I don't want to mess around with stuff that does not matter kind of way. I just want to deliver products that matter or in a way that matters, and that's it. A lot of it is domain. Like I've come out of business, translating what these new and emerging technologies can or cannot do. Is it feasible? Yes, no. Do you want to try something out? Yes, no. Build it out, scale it. Where is that at? Because I feel like Google and all the likes, they're very mature. Yes, they're doing new innovative things, but they're very mature. Startups, they're not, but they're in a different place. Conceptually, what they're used to in their workforce, the structure they have. And so in my mind, taking the skill set where I've scaled something or introduced a brand new product for a very mature place like Accenture or DHL or whatever, it's easily transferable to some startup that's trying to scale and become enterprise ready or whatever. But how do I narrow down on what that space is? I will say, you know, doing the things you're talking about, they're doing the things you say, right? So moving into the LinkedIn comments has started to get me conversations with CEOs directly. Ramping up my application numbers got me more conversations, got me a really weird offer, but I've started getting offers. I'm trying to narrow down what's a waste of my time to apply to or not, so that all this effort goes to the right place as opposed to squandering some of it. And I'm struggling with that. At first it was, how do I communicate my experience? I'm getting better with some of that, but then I'm like, who gives a shit that I've done this at the like ecosystem partnership, new product introduction, and enterprise level? Like who gives a shit? And how can I go find them and talk to them directly?
You know, I think like in terms of like what's gonna always be the best use of your time is always generating additional interviews. So that really comes
Okay.
sending out more LinkedIn messages and then sending out more LinkedIn follow-up. Because the reality is that there is so much volatility right now in the marketplace that like one tweet from the president, whether or not you're for him or against him, I mean, a lot of these people that actually,
Bro, it like undoes everything, or
right,
like,
right,
yeah,
right,
it's
right,
so
right, right. So like companies are, you know, I show you guys every single week, companies are setting up war rooms to like keep up with these executive orders. Because he's moving very, very, very quickly,
very fast. And
very
I've
fast.
come out
So,
of logistics to begin with, and so like I get it.
right.
So then second on this, because I couldn't make Tuesday, what I'm looking at as far as like content that's out there, I'm not a day in the life motherfucker either. Unless the day in the life you're talking about is like, we have a problem with our client, war room, how do we solve this?
Day in the,
Like,
I
I'm
mean,
looking
you
at a
guys,
blend of like domain.
yeah, if you guys are looking to join the podcast, I mean, we're always looking for guests.
Okay.
Like that's actually what we've done in like setting up. So for our esteemed guests here, that's today. We've also set up. I want you guys to all become influencers in this space. And yeah, like every single week we're just basically like hosting um this podcast here. Um which is like how to launch a personal brand. These are all like the product gym folks that have gotten jobs. Um Susan here, hilarious. She just grabbed like, she just grabbed like, she went viral. She did like I think 12,000 impressions on TikTok. But we just been hosting, like we've been taking the most popular YouTube titles and we just been hosting a podcast off of it. So which has been like, I want people to promote their brand. The brand is actually, I everybody here has heard of Chloe Shi. Like, like I don't think people understand. Like she's like people that are just in marketing in general is studying what she's doing. Cause like she does like over like about like 1.2, 1.4 million just as a creator right now. She has not needed to go ahead and she has not needed to go ahead and work as a product manager for quite some time. I think that's where most of you guys would like to go to. Like she just her funnel, which she just cracked, just got her like 300,000 Instagram followers like in a week. We're all like studying this shit like a spaceship right now because like if you guys hate job hunting, the what's going to get you like the best product manager jobs in the future is actually your YouTube channel and and your Instagram following. And they talk about a lot about like this is actually what I talk about in my Tuesday like tech influencer podcast of like
Yeah.
how to go out there and become like an influencer. Um, um, make sure to get you on that call, CJ. But like she has like such a strategic. She took a very product management approach to it. I really respect it. Like, anyways, like, yeah. So if you guys like are interested in that, but the most important thing is like studying up for, I would say if you were to study anything, it would just probably be like how to send out more LinkedIn messages outside of the ones, because the more opportunities that you're getting, like um the more opportunities that you're getting, like it's just always changing. Like today too, like Hyundai, like they're gonna resume business in Russia
Yeah,
mid
it's
truth
rough.
talks, and they haven't really had a Russia team in the last few years because
Yeah, I
like
know.
they couldn't sell to Russia, right? But like that's not due to something on their own. But now it's like, yeah, this thing looks like they're an ally nation with the US. It seems like peace is about to be achieved. Um, so let's get back to selling shit, you know? We want a Samsung TV in the house of every Russian. You know, let's go. Samsung, Hyundai is making moves. Hyundai is making mega moves. But yeah, you don't know. Those 25% tariffs, they affect businesses. Like there's just such a ripple effect. So you just don't know. So it's sad to say this, but even the people they just don't that you're interviewing with, they don't even know. So yeah, that's where a lot of the burnout and the fatigue is at for job hunters. It's just like the lack of uncertainty it's required to operate in this market. But that's actually why confidence is actually so important when you're on the interview, because they want to know that, you know, you have that grit to go out there and just be good, you know. So like, you know, for me, talking to all of y'all, I want you guys, like I genuinely want you guys to get the best jobs, the highest paying jobs, you know, but you got to understand that on the business side, they're operating with as much uncertainty as you guys are. So instead of always selling yourself, which is what we talk about in the Wednesday calls, is like instead of talking about how to sell yourself for the job, talk about like how you're selling yourself as a person for the the actual people that are working there, right? Product manager interviews right now, you guys can tell all the testimonials, all the grads are saying this. It's not an interview anymore. It's a fucking therapy session. They're operating under high degrees of extreme stress, you know. You know, like when I take a look at my competition, the reason why they can't replicate is like I'm just so relatable to people. I was like, you're talking like fucking you guys are still, I was like trolling my competition. I troll my competition every day on IG. You guys are talking about product requirements document, like they can't fucking figure that shit out on ChatGPT. Like nobody knows how to write a PRD right now.
That's
I
not
did
it. It's the
I
stakeholders and
Yeah,
the
I did a
fucking
live stream.
perfect.
I was like, with my niece, here's $100, dude. Write a PRD. She's in high school. She freaking wrote a PRD with freaking DeepSeek. Like, come on. We're not talking about skills anymore right now. They're looking for warriors. And that's why, like, that's the other reason why you're going under the reps. If they feel like your anxiety level is down, they can rely on you more. Companies are hiring people that they want to be foxhole buddies with, right? Right? They're like, oh shit, like I can actually, because they're not talking about the job anymore. A third of the people that are hiring people in tech, their husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, they also got laid off too.
Yeah.
A lot of people that you're interviewing with, they're the sole breadwinner, man. It's stressful as fuck. So like you gotta understand, like they have all this, you guys are interviewing for this job right now at a high level of stress, where pre-2021 people would just be coming here paying up product gym just because they're just like, I have the time now to make this transition. I have the time now to make this job hunt. Right now, you guys, job hunting is extremely high stress activity. You guys are dealing with this, and a lot of you, I already know, is dealing with a lot of other bullshit outside of this job hunt. So it's everything everywhere all at once, right? I have other bullshit outside of this fucking call too. I have team members going through other bullshit that's bigger than this call as well. It's not just the job anymore. People that you're interviewing with, they got other bullshit going on. So some of these people are in the middle of fucking divorce. They're not gonna put that shit on a job description. You know, if they feel like they can talk to you about their divorce, trust me, your chances of getting hired exponentially go up. So like they have other bullshit that they're going through as well too on the job. If they feel like they can go out there and talk to you more, they're gonna want to go out there and really want to go out there and work with you. It's not about um there's too many qualified people in the market for companies to not be able to find talent right now. 278,000 people got laid off, and you guys are seeing layoffs are still happening. Amazon just did another round, right? All these qualified people out there, all these beautiful schools, you want to know why they're not getting the job? They're not being really relatable. You know,
Okay.
they're not being relatable. So they gotta feel you gotta have more of an emotional connection in order for you to be able to go ahead and actually have those conversations with them at a more human level. You got to feel like there's momentum going on in your job hunt. So the more activity that you have on your calendar, it's easier for you to focus because you don't, it's hard for you to go out there and be a therapist when your life is falling apart. So if you know you've
Right.
got 12, 13, 14 interviews on the calendar, you're feeling a little bit more. I was like, all right, so yeah, I'm fucking eating sardine spaghetti right now, but like I got 13 other interviews. Eventually, someone's gonna go out there. I mean, when I first started doing Product Jam, we had like we launched our first event. I did not have an understanding of how expensive New York was. I just started booking one-on-one appointments with people. They came to the office. We were 39th and Broadway by Times Square, and I had a 100% show up rate. And people were just telling me about their like, and I was just being a therapist, right? They're looking at me like I was a fucking doctor's office. I was there in a free WeWork pass that I would renew every single week with the new. So who the fuck is this guy not paying for a membership here? But like, yeah, and they were like, "Yo, Rich, you're 230s here," and then like the floor manager, who the fuck is that guy? I I didn't have a fucking PayPal processor. They didn't approve my ass yet, so I was taking payments either on Venmo or people would go across the street to Chase and bring back the cash in the envelope, and it
Hey,
was two
man.
G's. And this guy was like, "Yo, man, I saw like 8 red envelopes fucking just pass over here, and you're not even giving me $300 to drink my coconut water." You know?
That's funny.
Right? But like, I would just freaking at the time, I didn't even have a website, dude. I didn't give a shit. It was about pure survival. But even when I needed it, I always just made it about like, okay, so you're currently right now working at Amex, and you're thinking about whether or not you're gonna make this transition. Like, tell me why. It's like, yo, honestly, I was having real conversations with them. So I dated some girl at my office, and I definitely can't work there anymore. If I tell my boss, I'm definitely gonna get fired because he does not tolerate that bullshit. So I was like, why not? But I can't afford to stop working, right? And he was like, I heard you're the guy. Like you got to get them to have more of those like realistic conversations with you because that's where
Yeah.
because they're thinking about like they want to hire people that they want to work with. So and people they'll hand over they're like get me the fuck out of here, man. You know, like, but they also saw like a cool group of people. And people, I mean, our class pre-pandemic was 9:30 to 3:30 on a Saturday in New York City. And I saw people crawling in their hungovers. So you had to like put on a little bit of music in the fucking morning. I had to say, like, people had to like look forward to fucking coming in, right? Especially when it was
Yeah.
snowing, you know? Shit, there's a lot of things to do in New York City. So, like, I can't be which I love doing this shit. Like, honestly, I think I found a job for me where I could be on this fucking live stream right now for fucking 24 hours a day, like I show speed. We're in the process of setting that shit up here in Korea. Um, because like, you know, my guy here, my marketing guy here is like, yo, Rich, people fucking love you, man. They fucking suck that shit up. There's no fucking reason why we can't turn you into the Chinese version of I Show Speed for fucking just all tech jobs. They fucking love that shit. You're like the only, this guy was like, it was so funny when he interviewed me. He was like, I was like, what do you say our value proposition is? Honestly, you're only fans for job hunters. I was laughing so hard. It was like, you are only fans for job hunters. But he's like, you're only focused right now on product. We got to get you into everything. Okay. Because what you should be doing is we're missing an extra 2 zeros that's coming into your personal Chase checking account. Tell me more. You know, like now I'm getting hot, you know? Yeah, but like with that said, like when you're going on to the interview, don't make it about the job. Don't think about what it is that you want. Think about everything that person wants. You are being customer centric and being customer obsessed right now. Think about everything that hiring manager is going through. Uh, yes. Think about like everything that hiring manager is going through. Think about like what type of meeting that person just had. Think about what type of meeting that person's about to have. You know, think about like go into that meeting. You guys want to know like one like it's like, yo, thank you so much for scheduling a call with me. I understand it must be a very busy and a stressful time. I'm probably, you know what? Like I really appreciate your time because you're probably so underappreciated for what it is that you do. It's like fucking hey, I'm unappreciated for what the fuck I do. Yeah, you like you guys have all half of you guys have been in product already. You guys know a lot of the calls people just don't give a shit about all that extra work that you guys do. That doesn't actually cost money. This is like I always tell my team, I tell them like 5, 6 thank yous like a day. Like, thank you so much for that. Thank you. You know, it doesn't cost money and it actually it's been proven to retain people. So I'm gonna let you guys all go ahead and get to it. Agnes Dumay, am I saying your name correctly?
Agnes Dumet, yeah.
Yeah. You were invited here by my associate Jermaine, is that correct?
That's right, yeah.
Give me some live feedback on this session. How did you find this?
I don't know. It seems like I question like that's not really my personality, the whole like volume thing, the kind of salesy approach and the confidence. I get it, but then I wonder like if you get that job, like do you have to keep kind of having that personality? I just don't know if maybe the job market's too tough right now. I don't know.
Mm. Well, you think about it and you let me know, Agnes. But thank you so much for making the time to show up. I really
Yeah.
do appreciate that. This is the market. This is basically the market. This is basically the market that we are in, and the volume approach. Yeah, I could lie to people and just say like, yeah, we can get it fast, but the volume approach is, honestly speaking, the lack of just uncertainty. 1 out of every 5 offers, unfortunately, gets rescinded. So, by all means, have another chat with Jermaine. We appreciate you coming through. The rest of you can go ahead and basically hop off. CJ, just hit me up on. I would like to take this call sitting down comfortably on a couch.
Okay.
Okay. Da, 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 da. Let's get it, people. Let's get it. All right. One
Yes.
application and one interview away. And also, Agnes, you weren't in the beginning of the call, but Jessica, you sent out 3 LinkedIn messages and booked an interview, right? Like that?
Sent out 2 messages. I have one interview and another one I'm waiting to follow back up because he confirming that I applied. So maybe 2. We'll see.
Hmm. Oh, CJ, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
But yeah, Rich, I'll hit you up in a bit.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys. Mondays. I'll see you guys on Mondays. Okay. Thank you.
See you, everyone.
Thank you,
Bye.
Plexi. Oh.